Hello, my friend. In this video, we're discussing how to grow employees through delegation. The clip is from an interview we did with Mike Figliuolo, the author of One Piece of Paper, Lead Inside the Box, and The Elegant Pitch. This is Business Leadership Today. I'm your host, Matt Tenney.
A rubber band. So if you think about it, if you stretch a rubber band vertically, okay? So that's you and that's your bandwidth. And down at the bottom of your rubber band towards your desk, that's the stuff you can do in your sleep. Super easy, but those are tasks that you do every single day without thinking about them. At the top of the rubber band, as you stretch it, is stuff that you can do. It takes work, it's hard, but you're competent and capable there. And what happens as leaders is we're asked to stretch up, right? Our managers come to us, they give us a development opportunity, they stretch us up. And what happens is we just put tension on the system, okay? Now, there's a few options here. One, we can maintain that tension on the system and that rubber band will eventually snap. And that's a bad outcome. The second thing that happens is we say, wow, there's a lot of tension on the system, and we actually revert and we take some of that pressure off, but we do it by moving back down to the things we're comfortable with. Because that stuff we've been asked to stretch up into is uncomfortable. We're bad at it. We don't do it right. It's confusing. It's a lot of hard work. So you know what? I'm going to do some of the things that I know how to do. And I may even focus on some of the things at the bottom of the rubber band because, well, I feel really good and I can knock those out and, I'm super confident there and I feel good and it builds self-esteem. So those are the two common choices, either snapping or reverting. The third choice is you stretch up, but then you got to figure out how to release the tension on the bottom of the rubber band. And that's where we stop doing things. That's where we automate, we delegate, we hire more people for them to grow up into that space. And we let their rubber band stretch up into that space. Now, as a leader, you have an obligation also to make sure your people don't snap. So when you stretch them up into that space, recognize you just put tension on their rubber band and you got to help them release the things at the bottom of their rubber band. So hire more staff or delegate or take projects off their plate and say no to things. And if everybody's stretching up and then releasing that anchor and stretching up and releasing that anchor, that whole organization is growing and it's creating growth opportunities behind them. So that rubber band, I keep them on my desk all the time. First is a reminder for me that I got to be untethering the bottom of my rubber band, but also I should be having this conversation with leaders to help them grow.
So what do you think is the fastest way, the most direct way that a leader can help relieve that tension on the bottom for people that we're really encouraging to stretch up?
Yeah. Take a piece of paper, divide it into quarters, and I'm just talking like 4 horizontal slices, okay? In the bottom slice, I want you to write all the stuff that is super basic. You can do it in your sleep. I can build a model. I can do the Excel. I can do the T&E reports, build the graphs, whatever it is, the stuff you can do in your sleep, that goes in the bottom quarter. I want you to then write in that top quarter, the things your manager is asking you to do, new things that you're uncomfortable with, you're not sure about, you can't do them yet. You have no idea how to do them, but they're new tasks that you're being asked to do. Then in those middle 2 boxes, I want you to kind of stratify a bit, right? So that second from the bottom is the things that you can do. They take work, but you're reasonably comfortable to like 90% you can do them without too much extra effort. And then the ones in that third box from the bottom are things that you got to work hard at, but you can do them. You can do them well, but it is a lot of effort and planning, and it is part of your current core responsibilities. And once you have that stratification, then you can say, all right, for that stuff in that bottom layer, where does it go? And you can either say, I'm going to stop doing that. The organization just doesn't benefit from it. So let's just stop that work or stop that project, or I'm going to delegate this stuff, or I'm going to buy my way out of it. So I'm going to hire consultants or part-time workers to take that work off my plate and figure out where's that work going to go over the next 3 months. And start taking action on it. And that's how we untether. And you can go through the same exercise with your team members as well, right? And have them create the same list and help them figure out how to get those things off the bottom of that rubber band.
And what's your path for so let's look at the top of the rubber band now, where you're trying to determine what's worth really stretching for as you're you've got, let's say you've got 7 direct reports, and you're trying to think about, all right, where do I need to take these people next? What's your guidance for like really having a plan of action for helping stretch these people up so they become the next leaders in the organization?
Yeah, it's the things on my rubber band that I'll look at delegating. I may be really deliberate about it and say, gee, Matt's on my team. Matt's never done financial analysis. He doesn't know how to do a pro forma. I can do them in my sleep. And you know what? I'm going to delegate that to Matt, and I'm going to coach him, and I'm going to develop him because he needs to build that skill. And by the way, there are going to be things that I delegate that I go, sorry, Matt, this is not fun. I know you can do it. I need to stop doing it so I can do these other things. So you get some development stuff and you get some of my garbage work that I should stop doing, right? And you balance it out. You don't want to dump all the garbage on one person, but there are some things that are just not going to be developmental, but you shouldn't be spending your time and energy on them. As you're thinking about your top tier, a lot of that is going to be designated for you by your leader, who's going to say, Mike, you're taking this on, and this is a development thing and this is not, but there may be discretionary things in there. And that's where you've got to think through your own development path. Where are you trying to go? What kind of future roles do you want? And what are the skills and or experiences you need to have to be qualified to take those roles on? So for example, if I've never done something related to regulatory work, right? And I may find out, hey, we got a big regulatory project going on, the regulators are in, I may actually, sounds crazy, volunteer to be on that project. And people are like, oh my gosh, who wants to do regulatory work? Well, you know what? For me to eventually be a CEO, I need to understand the regulations that govern us and the way regulators think. And this project is going to be a great way for me to have that experience. You know what? Sign me up. And guess what? There's not going to be anybody else in line chasing that down, right? But this is how you have to think about those development experiences. Say, for that future role I want 2, 3, 4 levels away, what are the experiences and skills that person needs to have to be successful? And then it's a shopping list, right? It's a shopping list. You check off the ones you already got, and then the ones you don't, you're going to be looking for, where's an opportunity that I can check off one of those boxes and get that experience or build that skill.
We hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful and valuable. If you did, please take a second to hit that like button so the video can help other people too. And please be sure to subscribe and opt in for notifications so you don't miss any of our new videos. If you'd like to listen to the entire 30-minute conversation that this clip was taken from, please visit Business Leadership Today. The link is in the description below. Until next time, I wish you great success building a world-class organization that makes a positive impact in the lives of employees and in our world.